Hello everybody. Well, here it is. 125 subscribers. Can't believe anybody would find me interesting enough to want to give me that many people subscribed to my channel, but thank you each and every one of you. It is incredibly appreciated. And there's me saying 125. It's actually up past that now. I think at last check it was about 135. So I'm kind of overwhelmed by that. I didn't think I was that interesting. Got some of the questions I asked, and yeah, they're not all questions that I asked for on my community post or a little video. I've had things on other videos as well, so I've just lumped them all into one. But I suppose I'll start with saying I've been planning doing this for years, and after a lot of life events last year, a lot of upheaval, I've gone into that in previous videos. If anybody has been subscribed to this channel for a while, they'll know why. Things changed in my life, and I thought, you know what, just get on and do it. And it's just a little hobby, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy putting myself out there. I never used to be comfortable at all with hearing my own voice, so that was probably the hardest part. But yeah, so shall we get into it straight away? Wait, which question shall I start with, I wonder? Well, as you're no doubt aware, I'm very Scottish. Somebody asked me if I've ever been to Loch Ness, and do I know much about the story of Nessie? I have been to Loch Ness when I was much younger, years and years ago when I was a child. Been past it a few times heading across west, and somewhere I want to go back to, perhaps when I get my next week off work. I might just take a little trip there, so there would definitely be a video about that if it happens. As for the legend of Nessie, I only know the barest details of it. I know that it's dated back hundreds of years. There have been reports of something being seen in the loch, but nobody's ever been able to prove what exactly it is, or if it's anything, if it's just an optical illusion, or if there is something in there. Goodness knows Loch Ness is long enough and deep enough for somewhere to hide, but they don't know if there is some kind of creature there or not, or if it's some kind of trick of the water. Perhaps we'll never know. I'm kind of related on the Scottish thing. Do I eat a lot of kind of Scottish food? Yes and no, and everybody asked the question about haggis. I have tried it, it's alright. It's an acquired taste, not everybody likes it, I know that. I don't mind it. Haggis, neeps and tatties, proper Scottish meal that. It's your haggis, neeps is boiled mashed up turnip, and your tatties obviously mashed potato. Mum used to do that a lot when I was younger. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I even tried a vegetarian haggis not that long ago, and it was so good it was indistinguishable from the real thing. So yeah, take a drink of tea. Hmm. Um, what else? Hmm. I got a question in another video, not the one I did asking for questions, but something else. I thought I would put it in with this, and I was asked where I get a lot of my Cold War stuff, and it varies. Some stuff I pick up the odd bargain on eBay because I look for the stuff that's cheap and cheerful. Um, I picked up stuff at jumble sales and occasionally charity shops and things like that in years past, but mostly recently it's been eBay. Most is used to me by now. Yeah. And there was a related question to that. It also said, why am I interested in this stuff? And that's kind of a story that goes back to my teenage years. When I was at high school, one of my teachers turned up one day in this funny, small, noisy little car, and I'd never seen anything like it before. So I happened to see it out and about one day parked up, and I got a better look at it. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. The thing was called a Trabant. It's an East German car. I was quite taken with this little thing, so it led me on to look into where it came from, and I already had a wee bit of interest in the Cold War era, so this was right up my alley, or Strasse as you might say, if you're going down the German route. Now my hometown holds a classic car show every year, and in years gone by, it used to be slightly different. They would have a parade of cars along the main street at the end of the show. So, by this point, said teacher and her then husband had two of these cars. They pulled up beside me in one of them. Get in. So, here I was, maybe about 14 years old, sat in the back of this Trabant, flying along the high street in my hometown. I was just in heaven. If you've ever seen one, they're character cars to say the least. Twin cylinder engine, two stroke, about as much power as a small motorbike, and makes kind of noise to wake the dead, basically. Now imagine East Germany, 3 million of the things on the roads. So yeah, that's part of what sparked my interest, and just general family history. I mean, my father is ex-military, and he actually served over in Germany for a little while, so I had that kind of background. And I remember him giving me an old, with the Russian style fur hat, but it was actually an East German army one with the East German hammer and compass badge on the front. I think that's what really sparked a lot of it. So I've collected badges and medals and money and all sorts over the years. But there's a little bit of a follow up to this story. Once I was older, passed my driving test, I did various cars over the years. My parents went on a holiday one year before I moved out of their house. When they came back, I was basically bouncing off the walls with excitement. I'd seen a Trabie for sale in Scotland. Couldn't believe it. So, a couple of weeks later, me and my dad ended up going up to Fort William, which was on the other side of the country, to look at this thing. We bought it. So, about a week later, on the Saturday, it was me, my dad, and my Uncle Jim, who's sadly no longer with us, went up to Fort William to bring this thing home. Picture the scene. I've never driven a left-hand drive car, and if you know anything about a Trawi, the gear shift's a bit different. It's actually up on the steering column, like that. So imagine an 85-mile trip home from Fort William to where I grew up in a 40-year-old car that sounded like a swarm of angry wasps. Me driving, my father in the passenger seat. Basically a 40 mile an hour till the car warmed up. Once we got up to speed, maybe 50, 55, and an 85-mile argument. That's pretty much what it was. Me chugging away at the wheel, pleased as anything to have this thing. And my father going, remember you're in a left-hand drive car, get over the road, get over the road, or, oh for God's sake, you're not doing this right now. It was fun. It was fun, especially when we passed a coachload of German tourists just outside a place called Newton Moor. They heard it coming and I went past on the horn. They're all standing there going, oh my God, he's in a Trabant! You know, that kind of thing. That was fun. We stopped off for lunch in Avi Moor and you should have seen all the people looking when we left the place. Oh, happy days. I don't have that car anymore because sadly it wasn't in the best of conditions. When we got it home, it then proceeded to fall to pieces in my dad's garage. It eventually got hauled away by my uncle, who was a scrap. He was a scrap man. He worked in a scrap yard, so he eventually took it away and then phoned my dad up and goes, there's no scrap volume in this thing. You never told me it was plastic. I was like, no, you never asked, did you? Anyway, that was the adventure with the Trabi. Honest to goodness. And yet, I'd still like another one. Oh yeah, I'd still like another one. Yeah, I like weird stuff. I know. So that's the story of the Trabant, and it's kind of the story of how I like a lot of this Eastern Bloc stuff too. Trying to think if there was anything else. Mm, Future plans for the channel is just keep going as I'm going. Days out. Learn to edit a little bit better so these things don't look quite as scruffy. And we'll see what happens from there. Onward and upward, I guess. Thank you for bearing with me, and thank you to all who have subscribed. And I hope you've enjoyed listening to me ramble because it's something I'm pretty good at. Yeah, it's not a very nice day here in Scotland today as I record this. It's a bit grey and miserable. It was bonny earlier on, but now it's just, I don't know. And I almost think it was going to chuck it down with rain. Uh, on that note, I will say thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.